The polar bear is a marine mammal because it spends many months of the year at sea. However, it is the only living marine mammal with powerful large limbs and feet that allow them to cover miles on foot and run on land. Its preferred habitat is the annual sea covering the waters over the continental shelf and the Arctic inner islands archipelagos. These areas, known as the Arctic Ring of Life, have high biological productivity in comparison to the deep waters of the high Arctic. The polar bear tends to frequent areas where the sea ice meets the water, such as Pinnacle, and leads temporary stretches of the open water in Arctic ice to hunt the seals that make up most of its diet. Fresh water is limited in these environments because it's either locked up in the snow or saltines. Polar bears are able to produce water through the metabolism of fats found in seal blubber. Polar bears are therefore found primarily along the perimeter of the polar ice pack, rather than the polar basin close to the North Pole, where the density of seals is low. Annual ice contains areas of water that appear and disappear throughout the year as weather changes. Seals migrate in response to these changes, and polar bears must follow their prey. In the Hudson Bay, James Bay, and some other areas, the ice melts completely in the summer, an event often referred to as ice floe breakup, forcing polar bears to go onto land and wait through the months until the next freeze up. In the Chukchi and Beaufort Seas, polar bears retreat each summer to the ice further north that remains frozen year-round. The only other bear similar in size to the polar bear is the Kodak bear, which is a subspecies of brown bear. An adult male polar bear weighs about 350 to 700 kilograms, the measure of 2.4 to 3 meters in total length. The Guinness Book of World Records listed the average male as having a body mass of 385 to 410 kilograms and the shoulder height of 133 centimeters, slightly smaller than the average male Kodak bears. Around the side of the Beaufort Sea, however, mature males reportedly average 450 kilograms. Adult females are roughly half the size of males and normally weigh 150 to 250 kilograms, measuring 1.8 to 2.4 meters in length. Elsewhere, a similarly larger estimated average weight of 260 kilograms was claimed for adult females. When pregnant, however, females can weigh as much as 500 kilograms. The largest polar bear on record, reportedly weighing 1,002 kilograms, was a male shot at dysmorphic of animals, surpassed by the pinnidads such as elephant seals. The largest polar bear on record, reportedly weighing 2,002 kilograms, was a male shot at the Quebec Sound of the Northeast Alaska, 1960. This specimen, when mounted, stood 3.39 meters tall on its hind legs. The shoulder of the height of the polar bear is 222 to 160 centimeters. While all bears are short-tailed, the polar bear's tail is relatively the shortest among living bears, ranging from 7 to 13 centimeters in length. Compared to its closest relative, the brown bear, the polar bear has a more elongated body build and a longer skull and nose. As predicted by the Allen rule of northerly animals, the legs are stocky and the ears and tail are small. However, the feet are very large to distribute the load when walking on snow or ice or thin ice. To provide propulsion when swimming, they may measure 30 centimeters across as an adult. The pads of the paws are covered with small palpate, which provide traction on the ice. The polar bear's claws are short and stocky compared to those of the brown bear, perhaps to serve the former's need to grip heavy prey and ice. The claws are deeply scooped on the underside to assist in digging in the ice of the natural habitat. Research of injury patterns in the polar bear forelimbs found injuries to the right forelimb to be more frequent than those to the left, suggesting perhaps right-handedness. Unlike the brown bear, polar bears in captivity are rarely overweight or particularly large, possibly as a reaction to the warm conditions of most zoos. The 42 teeth of a polar bear reflect the highly carnivorous diet. The cheek teeth are smaller and more jagged than the brown bear, and the canines are larger and sharper. The dental formula is a lot. Polar bears are superbly insulated up to 10 centimeters of adipose tissue. Their hide and their fur they overheat at temperatures of 10 centimeters or 50 degrees Fahrenheit and are nearly invisible under infrared photography. Polar bear fur consists of a layer of dense underfur and outer layer of guard hairs, which appear white to tan but are actually transparent. Two genes are known to influence melanin production. LYST and AIM1 are both mutated in polar bears, possibly leading to the absence of this pigment in their fur. The guard of hair is 5 to 15 centimeters over most of the body. Polar bears are gradually molt from May to August, but unlike other Arctic mammals, they do not shed their coat for darker shade to provide camouflage in the summer conditions. The hollow guard hairs of the polar bear were once thought to act as fiber optic tubes to conduct electricity to its brain, where it could be absorbed. However, this hypothesis was disproven by a study in 1998. The white coat usually yellows with age, and when kept in captivity in warm human conditions, so the fur may turn a pale shade of green due to algae growing inside the guard hairs. Males have a significantly longer hair on their forearms, which increase in length until the bear reaches 14 years of age. The male's ornamental forehair lawns are thought to attract females, serving a similar function to the lion's mane. The polar bear has an extremely well-developed sense of smell, being able to detect seals nearly 1.6 kilometers away and buried under 1 millimeter of snow. Its hearing is about as acute as that of a human, and its vision is also as good at long distance. The polar bear is an excellent swimmer and will often swim for days. One bear swam continuously for 9 days in the frigid Bering Sea, so if you saw that one coming at you, you're dead. For 700 kilometers to reach the ice of the far land. She then traveled another 1,800 kilometers. During the swim, the bear lost 200% of her body mass, and her yearling cub died, with its body fat providing buoyancy. The bear swims in a doggy paddle fashion, using its forepaws for propulsion. The polar bear can swim 10 kilometers per hour when walking. The polar bear tends to have a Lumberberg gait and maintains the average speed of 5.2 kilometers when sprinting. They can reach up to 4 minutes. Yeah.